Hi, I'm going to be talking about social welfare services. Have you ever gone by a person who may have been holding a sign such as this? At that point, you do have a choice. You can look at the sign and you can read the reason why the person is standing there, or you can quickly turn your head hoping that they didn't see you looking at them. Um, but you do have a choice, and your choice that you make, it can mean life or death. Or the choice you can be could be something personal. As I was doing my studies, I found that some people believe that people that are poor, that they're lazy, that they don't want to do better, that that's their destiny in life. I even read one of the articles that said that they were doomed, that they were cursed, that that was their course to be poor. Whatever the reason is, the one thing about society that I did learn was that they have put in checks and balances. They have put in programs to help those who are in a poverty living condition. And no matter whatever the choice is, I have to truly believe that don't nobody want to be without the basics: food, housing, clothing. Nobody really wants to live under a bridge. I just don't want to believe that. Some of the programs that are available to help people that may find themselves in need, no matter what the reason was. And let me just say that I live in McKeesport. And when I came down to McKeesport, I was told so many stories about the steel mills and how there used to be stores and housing, and everybody had money, and there wasn't no wondering what you was going to do. You was going to graduate from high school and then you were going to go work in the mills and things like that. I see big, beautiful houses around in McKeesport that are just horrible. The windows are broken out, and I'm always asking, what happened to the people who lived here, or what happened to the house? And my husband has these great stories that how the houses used to look and how so many people used to live there. And but most of the stories do end with the fact that when the steel mill shut down, that a lot of people left and they just walked away from the houses. The programs that are available to people that I was able to locate and do a little bit of study about was housing assistance. And housing assistance, it helps um, people to find clean, affordable housing. Housing assistance may also make sure that the landlords are what they call held accountable, and that people aren't living in slum housing. There's subsidy housing that also helps to pay a set portion of the monthly rent for the person. Um, it says you pay your portion and we'll pay our portion. There's also cash assistance available to help with people who may be in poverty. The Department of Public Welfare, they may issue a set amount of cash to help you with your living expenses, your rents, your lights, your gas, and etc. There's food stamps. Food stamps also is known as SNAP. That is whereas it's going to help you whenever you go to the grocery stores and you want to swipe the card and you want to tell them you're using your food stamps. And there's a certain amount of money that is issued out monthly basis that you can go and buy food. It won't allow for you to buy uh, shirts and shoes and things like that. It's strictly to make sure that you have the nutrition that you need to make it from month to month for you and your family. There's educational programs, educational assistance programs, FAFSA, which is for the federal aid for student education. Um, like I said, you may um, need to further your education at some point, because I know for sure that there comes a time when your job may require you to have more than just what you currently have. There's a FIA, which is called Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Program. And that program is through Pennsylvania State, and they do help you with grants for your schooling. Whatever the reason is that a person may find themselves homeless, whatever it is, I'm so glad that we live in a country, we live in a society that says we're here to help you. And I'm so glad that all we have to do is reach out for their assistance. I'm glad that they even allow for people to come in and share their stories. And then we as society say, okay, we're going to help you. The one thing I do know that when I was doing my research, when I was reading it about how people felt that people were lazy and they didn't work and things like that, was that there was the opposite side, that there were people that did want to work, but because they had certain circumstances, they just weren't able to work, or they weren't able to live where they wanted to live. But no matter what happens in life, we have to think about what is good for society as a whole, because there is something called the cascading effect. Whereas if a person loses a job, and what if they get desperate and they start maybe doing drugs to make money? Um, there's drug dealing. What if a person is in need of something and then they break in your house? Now there's crime, drugs and crimes, and there's just all sorts of things that can happen when a person is truly in need. But if we have these social welfare services in place, hopefully that would deter that type of action. And hopefully that if we help a person, that then when they get back on their feet, then they will be a better uh, addition, or they would be a better type of asset to the community. So in closing, I just like to say my personal opinion is that I understand that welfare and subsidized housing and all those aren't things that was placed to make it a generation to generation type of living. But I do understand that there is a need for those services. And I can hope that we don't ever get rid of those services, because there are people that are truly, truly in need of those services.